What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I have been tasked once again with ranking a particular house from worst to best, and in this video you saw it in the title, it's 30 fragrances. I didn't realize I had 30 Hugo Boss fragrances, but I have 30, so I'll try to be as quick and efficient with my thoughts as I can be, because this is going to be a longer video. So strap in, get ready, you Hugo Boss fans. You may be surprised where some of these are ranked. There's a multitude of different lines, but we're ranking them from my least favorite, worst, to best, my favorite. Stay tuned. Number 30 is my least favorite, and it pains me because the perfumer is a friend of mine. It's from Claude Deer. It's Hugo Energise. If bland and basic was in a bottle, it would be Hugo Energized. It just smells like a bunch of bleh, nothing to me. Doesn't smell bad. It smells like what the most basic of aromas of woody aromatic profiles could be. Like, it's kind of strange to me that I just don't get any of the nuance. When you look at the note breakdown, it looks kind of exciting, like it might be really good. But in practice and on my skin, there's a light creamy wood, soft musk, and that's it. It's like really basic, like not a enjoyable musk, not an enjoyable wood, just really bland, soft and supple. I'm not a fan. It's my least favorite from Hugo Boss. It's Energized. Now this next one I picked up on a whim at a TJ Maxx back when I lived in Texas. Haven't worn it since. I don't dislike it, I just don't care for it enough to want to wear it. This is a 40 ml of Hugo Just Different. A little bit of an Invictus smell, kind of a spicy apple mixed with Invictus. It's okay. It's not bad. It's not a bad smelling fragrance. It's not bland like Hugo Energize, but it just doesn't compel me. Not one that I can ever really put the old TLTG stamp of approval on and wholeheartedly recommend to anyone, because I just don't care for it. Number 29, Hugo Just Different. One that the first time I smelled it, I thought was terrible. The way the grapefruit and the aldehydes came across, and I gave it another chance and just bought a bottle. And it's pretty good, but it's still far from my favorite. It's Boss Bottled Sport. And the crazy thing is, it's the best looking bottle of the bunch. It's a frosted clear glass with black and red hits in the letters. It's literally, to me, this is the best Boss Bottled bottle. And it's still nothing special, but it's not a bad fragrance either. Matter of fact, give a little spritz on the wrist. I haven't smelled it in a while. Yeah, it's a very juicy, slightly tart grapefruit. A little bit of aldehydes, clean and musky, sporty, woodsy, you know. Fits the name. It's okay, but that's the thing. It's just okay. It's Boss Bottled Sport. Intense greens and woods. Cypress, very synthetic. Pretty strong on my skin too. This is Hugo Extreme. I got this the first couple of months that I was living in Colorado Springs. And while in the fall, I do think it's a great fragrance. I need to put it in rotation this fall. I haven't worn it in a while, but, you know, nothing super phenomenal. Low ranking on my list for a reason, because it is a good fragrance. I do like it. I have worn it in the past. I haven't worn it in a while, and I do plan on wearing it again. It's just so much better from the house that if I'm going to reach for something Hugo Boss, this is low in the totem pole. It's Hugo Extreme. Now, I've referenced this one in videos many times. I do think it smells like a smoky bar of soap. It's Boss Bottled Night. Been out for a long time. You can get testers really cheap. I do like this fragrance. I do. I just forget I have it sometimes, and I don't really reach for it. It literally smells like birch and soap. Birch gives it that smoky nuance and like a soapy, you know, hand soap lavender kind of smell. Again, nothing special, but if you like clean soapy fragrances that have that extra element of a darker nuance, not super smoky, but there is a discernible smoky note to it. Decent performance. Average to below average, nothing real special like a 5-hour fragrance, but does smell nice. It's Boss Bottled Night. Kind of a smoky, spicy, woodsy, red apple kind of scent. I have recommended this one in the early stages of my channel in the fall, because it is a solid release for fall. This is Hugo Boss Man. You don't really see anybody talk about this one. The old window panel looking glass bottle. I haven't wore this one in I couldn't tell you how long. And it does smell good. When I was gathering these, I pulled the cap because it's been years since I smelled it. This is another one that needs to get back in the rotation for this fall. This needs to be one of those reach backs I talk about from time to time. Because I always have at least one a week where I reach back in the collection, and this fall, you get this one in the rotation. It's basically smoked apple. It's pretty good. Hugo Boss Man. The epitome of what taking the original and making it fresher is Boss Bottled Tonic. This is a glorified 2 to 3 hour fragrance and longevity on my skin, but quite enjoyable. That dent comes from a specific moment in time when I lived in Texas and worked at Mercedes. This is a great gym bag fragrance, a great refresher to run errands when you don't need a bunch of longevity. You want bright and uplifting, and you're a fan of the original DNA, because this does smell like Boss No. 6 Boss Bottled. Just way fresher, airy, watery, ozonic, still has apple and spices and woods, just lighter, brighter, and fresher. And also weaker. It's a true tonic flanker, but it's a damn good one. Don't let it being a weak performer sway you completely away from it. I have uses for fragrances like this, and you know what? You do too, whether you realize it or not. This is a good one for those situations. It's Boss Bottled Tonic. Now, some of these are in a different bottle now. They're all in this style bottle, such as this one, for example. This is Hugo Iced. It's been in that other style bottle for a while. This is kind of the toothpaste minty tone. For what it is, it's actually really good for that toothpaste mint style fragrance. This is one of the better ones, a slight spice, almost like a little bit of a spicy mint, but very fresh overall. Not the bubblegummy type, but again, like the mint toothpaste, Crest, Colgate kind of thing, which is terrible to some, but enjoyable to others. I find it to be enjoyable. A great springtime fragrance. I'm a fan. I actually do quite enjoy this one. I recommended this one many times in the past, and I recommend it to you now. It's a good, affordable mint option. It's Hugo Iced. Now take what's good about Hugo Iced, now make it more aquatic, and you get Hugo Now. Hugo Now is a blue aquatic oceanic fragrance with that same type of mint note. It's superior to that, hence why I rank it the next step up. Oh yeah, this is better. If I had to pick between the two, I would take Hugo Now. I do prefer it. This gets no love. Very affordable fragrance. It's an aquatic meets mint fragrance. It's very fresh, very bright, super refreshing kind of stuff. Great in the summertime. Hugo Now. Recent to the collection, smells like a more woodsy, slightly green take on another fragrance in this video. This is Boss Bottled United. This is the Eau de Toilette. I've never smelled the Eau de Parfum. This is a fingerprint magnet, mirrored chrome finish. It's a cool looking bottle when it's clean. It's really good. Citrus, woodsy, green, fresh, a little minty. This one again has a little bit of a minty tone to it. Aromatic and bright, great everyday wear. This is something you can just go for every single day. Average performer, 5-6 hour type of thing in longevity. Not crazy loud, but noticeable. It just smells really good. I'd like to try the EDP, because the EDT is actually pretty good. Boss Bottled United EDT. The standard for cheap synthetic oud that actually smells good. It smells like if you took Boss No. 6 Boss Bottled and added a cheap synthetic oud smell, you get Boss Bottled Oud, which I actually like. I know some people think it's just too cheap and synthetic, and hey, I hear you. I get where you're coming from with that. I'm picking up what you're putting down here. But I find it oddly enjoyable, that warm apple pie smell with that synthetic sweet oud smell. It just kind of works. I've always liked it. Another one kind of average, slightly above average performance, kind of 6-7 hours in longevity. And you'll definitely stand out with this, because I can almost guarantee everyone around you has never smelled this before, and you'll be the only one smelling like it. It's Boss Bottled Oud. Forgotten, because all of its flankers are so good. Boss the Scent, the original Eau de Toilette, the original beautiful Maninka fruit fragrance. In this line, it's still so good. This is the one that I would recommend for summer date night, because it's not too heavy like some of the others. Real ambery, vetiver heavy, gourmand, like dense spices. It's not a lot of those things. It's a lot of Maninka and woods, a little touch of leather. Easier to wear than you would think in warmer climate. Now, daytime, high heat, no. But summer date nights, the original Boss the Scent EDT is great for it. Now take Boss EDT, add some orris to the top note, a creamy, powdery iris, richen up the profile with a higher oil concentration, and you get Boss the Scent Parfum Edition. Long discontinued. This was a limited edition. This is the best bottle of the bunch. So you have that matte finish black. The opening is the best of all of them, because it is iris dominant original scent. The original scent, higher oil concentration with orris. It smells so good. And I thought for a long time this and Le Parfum were the same fragrance and that was a rebottling. No, they are different iris fragrances in the same line. And the other one's better. It's much, much higher rank, like way higher rank than this one. And this is really good. I highly doubt it's easy to get a hold of, but it used to be at rack stores and stuff. This was easy to get super cheap many years ago, and smells great. It starts off its own thing with iris, then it just dries down into a higher oil concentration of the original, which is actually a good thing. Boss the Scent Parfum Edition. So this is that fragrance I was saying Boss United kind of smells like a slightly more complex version of. This is Boss Unlimited. This is my big 200 ml bottle. This is frozen pineapple and woods. So you have this kind of metallic, fresh aquatic violet leaf with mint and pineapple and woods. It's that simple. It smells great. It's very fresh. Very sporty spring summer fragrance. Average at best performance. I would say it falls in that 4 to 6 hour range in longevity. Got a big 200 ml bottle. I ordered 100 ml, 200 ml, got sent by mistake. I'll never run out of it. But it's so good. And that porcelain white with the green lettering looks great. And even the tip of the atomizers, that matching green. Some of these Boss Bottled bottles are really slick looking. This being one of them. Boss Bottled Unlimited. Next, we got one back-to-back picks that are very similar to one another. This came out not that long ago. This is Hugo Reflective Edition, and this smells like Reversed with some added green cypress. So this has this grapefruit, woody dominant profile. Just a citrus woody fragrance with some added greens. It's actually quite nice. It's quite nice. You want a great cheapie that can do it all every day, that's really fresh, probably get you a few compliments, average performer at best. Maybe look into this one, Hugo Reflective Edition. Now, believe it or not, I prefer the stripped down version of that with Hugo Reversed. Smells like a stripped down Elixir in many ways. Not the same fragrance, but reminds me of it. Very bright, fizzy grapefruit. Super juicy, fizzy grapefruit, soft woody vetiver. Very simplistic. That's the two main things I smell. Average performance, another one 5, maybe 6 hours. Some people typically get 4 to 5 hours, but so we call it 4 to 6 hour range. Really, really good stuff. Super good fragrance at an affordable price. Hugo Reversed. Any of you lavender fans out there will appreciate this one. This is Boss Bottled Infinite. That purple color juice is very fitting because this has a strong lavender opening with the original's DNA, the apple cinnamon woods, and this olive tree note that gives it this like olive oil like texturing to it and richness. This is actually, like, it was really hard. This is middle of the pack ranking. It was really, this is the point. This is the fragrance where the rankings got really difficult. From here on, a lot of these can interchange spots because, like, this is where the really good stuff starts from Hugo Boss, in my opinion. And this is not get love. This came out 2019, I want to say. I did a review on this beginning of 2020, years ago, and my thoughts on this still stand. This is one of their better flankers to have ever come out that still has the original DNA, but still kind of brings something new to the forefront. It's a good one. Above average performer, too. Boss Bottled Infinite. Right after that, we go to the kind of the modern blue twist in the original's DNA, Boss Bottled Eau de Parfum. So instead of cinnamon, you got cardamom. Still get that fruity, spicy smell, but this sage note gives it this aromatic blue type of feel with the original's DNA. It's the modern reimagining of Boss No. 6 is how I've always viewed it. I get like 8 hours out of this one. This one performs pretty well. It smells great. If you like the original, you like blue fragrances, you'll like this. I have nothing bad to say about this one. What a great flanker. Boss Bottled Eau de Parfum. Lackluster reviews from a lot of people. I actually like it. Vegan leather. It's kind of this herbal green leathery fragrance with iris. Boss Bottled Parfum. Doesn't really smell all that much like Boss Bottled. I was a pretty big critic of that as well. But if you just judge it as an individual, it's actually a pretty nice fragrance. Very green. Green and leathery with a earthy type of iris. Great cool weather fragrance that's just a little different. It's just a little different. It smells nothing like Boss Bottled. I would never envision Boss Bottled Parfum to smell this way because it has no relation to the original DNA, but I think it's got a strong character, actually. It's Boss Bottled Parfum. Now, every time I look at this fragrance and smell this fragrance, it cracks me up how me and my buddy Chad from A Gentleman's Journey can be so different, because he literally made a review video years ago on this saying how literally, word for word, that it is shit. That is Chad's words. I think it's one of the best flankers they've ever put out. Boss Bottled Oud Aromatic. Very rich, resinous, green, woody fragrance. This is not for everybody. It is polarizing. Shit, no, but I know Chad's taste. I understand why he says this smells like shit. I completely disagree. To each their own. I'm sure there's others that echo his sentiment. I'm sure there's others that echo my sentiment. It's not something you can just sample. It was exclusive in other countries. I got this through Fragrance Buy. I went out on a whim and bought it, and man, I'm so here for it. This will be in my fall rotation. I wore this last fall too. This is big time like earthy greens for me in the fall, but this is my kind of resinous, sticky, earthy green, fir balsam kind of stuff. I'm such a fan of this one, and I know I'm one of the few. Boss Bottled Oud Aromatic. I can't wait to get this one in the rotation in the fall. This came out this year. It is fresher than its big brother, but still not fresh enough to wear in the summer. This is Boss Bottled Triumph Elixir, the newest Boss Bottled flanker. The violet leaf really adds a lot of character depth here while still freshening up the fragrance, but not enough, because it's still based around heavy resins and smoky notes. It's still not a summer fragrance. It is fresher than Boss Bottled Elixir. It is so good. It's even a little powdery. Man, this is so good. Such a good release. Really, really strong too. Long lasting. This is a straight up beast on my skin. This is 10 hours easy and strong for 2 to 3 hours. You hear me? Don't need a lot of sprays here. Not a summer fragrance, I want to reiterate. But come this fall, it'll be in the rotation. Boss Bottled Triumph Elixir. Now we're really getting into the meat and potatoes to me from Boss and Boss the Scent Absolute. I go back and forth on these Boss the Scent flankers. This one, very warm, ambery, woody vetiver. Warm and ambery. And then very rich from the Maninka fruit here. Still give you some sweetness, but it's much more of an amber woody fragrance take on the DNA. Very rich, strong, warm, cozy, cool weather appropriate, great performer, straight up banger from them. Boss the Scent Absolute. Speaking of bangers from them, this is a lot of people's favorite Boss the Scent. This is my big 200 ml bottle of Boss the Scent Private Accord. I love this for Christmas. This is a December fragrance for me. Very cozy, very Christmas time. Gourmand elements to this one. Dark chocolate, a little powder and leather. Still has that fruity Maninka. It's, like I said, dark chocolate. It's powdery leather, woods. No real spiciness to this that I get. I'm sure there's some kind of spicy notes in there, but I don't get much spice. This is so good. Intoxicating scent trail. I had a coworker buddy of mine when I was at Mercedes. He used to wear this. So I used to smell it on another person aside from myself, because that's when I got this bottle when I was there. And yeah, it smelled great on Matt. It smells great on me too. Probably smells great on you. Whether you have it or you may get it in the future, it's going to smell good on you as well. There's, like I said, I won't argue with anybody that says this is the best one, even though it one time was my favorite. It's not my favorite one anymore, but I understand the argument. Boss the Scent Private Accord. I slept on this one because I mentioned earlier I thought this and Parfum Edition were the same fragrance. They are not. Boss the Scent Le Parfum. This is much more leather forward. This is a little bit more of a waxy type of iris. It's not as sweet. This is like real good. Like, I got this recently and I felt like an idiot. It's like, why did I put this off and assume it was the same fragrance for so long? It is not the same Boss the Scent Iris fragrance. They made 2 different Boss the Scent Iris fragrances in the lifespan of this DNA. It's crazy. And they improved. So good. Iris and leather with Maninka. Boss the Scent Le Parfum. 2023's release, one of my favorite designers released, introduced this brand absolute note. It's kind of like this dry wheat, grassy-like feel to the sweet Meninka. Boss the Scent Magnetic. Seeing a theme? I love me some Boss the Scent. They put out some home runs in this line. If you're not on this train, you need to jump aboard. So good. And I don't just mean this one fragrance. I mean this line. So good. Offers this dry, woodsy facet with the way this brand absolute note comes across. It's just so good and captivating. Different, but same. Like, reminds me a little bit of absolute, but still kind of its own thing. Another great performer, too. Boss the Scent Magnetic. Summer exclusive for last year. One of the better coconut fragrances to release in a while. Boss Bottled Pacific. This was, I think, Macy's exclusive. Then Fragrance Buy got their hands on some 200 mLs. People seek them out because it's a beautiful, fresh, juicy, zesty, like citron lemon kind of thing going on at the top. Saltwater coconut. So tropical, so fresh, and surprisingly good performer. 6 to 8 hours longevity on a tropical saltwater coconut fragrance that's based around a lot of citrus in the opening. It is so good. It's one of their best. Now, I have a large decant of Boss Bottled Marine, the previous year's release. It's a 10 ml. Because I don't have the bottle, it's not in this list. Because technically, if I'd had the bottle, it would have been 31. I have a 10 ml decant somebody gave me. Because that is really good. That would have been high ranking as well. But get your nose on this if you like coconut fragrances. Boss Bottled Pacific. Not for everybody, but if you want a beast and you like incense, Boss Bottled Elixir. I don't know why I was going to say Boss the Scent, I guess because I've been talking about a lot of them. Boss Bottled Elixir is big brother to Triumph Elixir and the superior fragrance. A little bit of spice, a load of smokiness, very aromatic, nice and powdery. Beautiful, cozy, cold weather fragrance. Not another good time for this outside of the cold. Not to me. Even fall. It's got to be a cool fall situation. Not a warm fall day or a warm spring evening. Maybe a little too much, in my opinion. But cooler weather, one of the best designers on the market, in my opinion. It's a beast. Boss Bottled Elixir. My favorite designer release of 2024 until further notice, and the only one I think has a shot to dethrone it, hasn't gotten here yet, which would be Spice Bomb Dark Leather. I'm still waiting on that to come in. That's the only thing I think can contend for this fragrance's crown as my favorite designer release of 2024. That is Boss the Scent Elixir. This smells like a combination of Boss the Scent mixed with Spice Bomb Infrared Eau de Parfum. Red pimento spice gives it this warm, fiery spice without being loaded with cinnamon. And the Meninka here comes across as boozy. More boozy than any of the other ones. It's got this boozy, warm, fruity facet to it with a nice woody vetiver smell. This is an absolute stunner. Stunner! One of their best releases ever. And currently my favorite designer release. Here we are in August. This came out in like January. And it hasn't been toppled for me yet. Again, it's my opinion. I might be the only person that thinks it's the best designer release this year, because we've had a lot of good ones. But this is the one to beat for me, and I really believe for my taste, the only one that's got a shot is Spice Bomb Dark Leather, like I was saying before. Another one, 8 to 10 hours longevity, smells phenomenal. Spice meets boozy, sweet, fruity Meninka. It's incredible. It's Boss the Scent Elixir. Long discontinued. Yes, I do have a clone of it, Fragrance World Nazi Silver. I heard there's another one, Panache. I don't care. I'm not getting multiple clones of it because I don't want to get too many because it'll steer me away from actually wearing Boss Bottled Intense EDP when I'm in the mood for it. Because this is the greatest Boss Bottled flanker of all time, to me. It's a true, intense, and eau de parfum version of Boss No. 6, nicknamed Boss Bottled, because the original fragrance is called Boss No. 6. They used to number their men's releases. And Boss Bottled is Boss No. 6. Warm apple pie. This is richer. This is sweeter. This performs lights out. It's got a thick sillage. It's sensual. It's attractive. And it's true to the original. It smells like a rich, intense, higher oil concentration version of the original. They did this one right. And it used to be so cheap. I paid $36 for this. That is not the case anymore. Hell, current flankers go for 50, 60 bucks. They don't even go for this price anymore because of inflation over time, but make it a scarce discontinued fragrance, and it's crazy to get. But it's the best flanker they've ever done, in my opinion. Boss Bottled Intense Eau de Parfum. And my favorite, which will always be the #1 Hugo Boss fragrance to me, no matter what, because it's the 90s to me. I've had multiple bottles. Hell, I currently have 2 multiple bottles in my hands. 1 ounce and a 200 ml. Boss number 6. Boss Bottled. This is my older 30 ml, which is my last bottle. Got a good deal on this 200 ml years ago. That has a decent little dent in it because I do wear this one more so. This is a lighter juice. This doesn't perform as well. This is like a 4 or 5 hour fragrance at best, but it's sharper. The woods are sharper here. Whereas this is a little bit warmer and sweeter, and the juice color is darker. There is batch variation here, I gotta say. So when I'm in the mood for a little bit sweeter, I go with this. When I'm in the mood for a little bit sharper wood, go with this one here. But man, this is good stuff. Iconic daily menswear fragrance. I love this. It's a moment in time. It's still in production. I think it'll never not be in production. How you like that double negative? It'll never not be in production. It's still popular to this day. They're still shitting out flankers like it's going out of style multiple times a year. We get summer releases. We get beginning of the year releases. They're doing Elixir flankers right now. They've done oil concentration flankers. Boss Bottled, man. Respect your elders. This came out like 96 or something like that. I'm old. When 96 is almost 30 years ago. It's 28 years ago. When it's almost 30 years ago, it means I'm getting old. I was 11 when this came out. God, getting old, man. But I smell good. I'm fresh. But I smell good. That's the most important point. And I hope you're smelling good as well. Because if you got your hands on Boss number 6, Boss Bottled, what is my favorite Hugo Boss fragrance, then you're doing good. So raw footage, I'm at 29 minutes and 5 seconds before editing. I tried to blaze through this the best I could and make my point short and sweet, and I feel like I did so. So thank you guys for watching all the way through that made it to this point. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe before you leave. Remember, this is all just my opinion. I will link Fragrance Buy down below, as you can get loads of these from them. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Y'all have a good one.